Thanks to the supporters of channel member Muckzibbit. Well, Peterborough United in the Premier League, eh? What will they think of next? Today I've got to go and spend Premier League money on actually turning this into a squad that won't come straight back down. This is going to be probably the most important transfer special of the entire series. Hello and welcome to Club 2, part 24 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have our season review and transfer special for our promotion season, and that is where we start off with the season review. I mean, the season couldn't have gone any better, really, could it? Let's try and actually get it worked. That's not our new arrivals. Is it not working? I had this all teed up beautifully. There you go. It wasn't working, but now we've fixed it, I think. These are our new arrivals for the year. So they're key new signings. I guess you'd be looking at Jaskalainen, who looks like he's one signing of the season. He has one signing of the season. Was very important for us in goal, despite being a grumpy boy and being in a mood all year. He was a very important player in goal for us. Sullivan played a lot of games for us at the back, forced Anderson out the side, which I didn't think anyone would be able to do. But he's been a very good player for us at the back. And Jack Joyce, the signing of him as an actual wonder kid. I don't remember him showing as a wonder kid before, but as an actual wonder kid coming in on loan from Wolves in January, was the missing piece of the puzzle for the front three. And we're going to miss him next year if we don't get to bring him back. I don't know if we'll be able to extend his loan maybe out into next season, or whether we can bring him in permanently. I know if we look at the players we've got on loan, we certainly can't bring all of them back because you're only allowed 2 loans from other Premier League clubs in the Premier League, I think. So we've got Livramento from Chelsea, we've got Wassell from Norwich, we've got Kasani from Everton, Hecker from Manchester United, and of course Joyce from Wolves. So that's 5 loan players who were all, to a greater or lesser extent, involved in the first team squad. That we can only bring 2 of them back maximum. That's assuming we can get any of them back. Of course, we could try and sign 1 or more of them permanently, but I don't expect us to be bringing in wonder kids like Joyce. And I think Wassell was a wonder kid as well. Oh, he's not showing as a wonder kid. But I don't think we're going to be able to sign Joyce permanently, which would be nice if we could. And it's probably not an area of the team we need to be strengthening to that extent anyway. We've got Jones and Patton who can play up front. Although it's nice to have the missing piece of the puzzle in there as well. And there's areas of the team where we're a lot weaker than we are up front. So we were expected to finish in the top half this year. We've ended up finishing second with an average attendance of just under 13,000, which was 92% of our capacity. Interestingly, the ground, I don't think is going to be big enough for the Premier League. So whether there's going to be a ground expansion or a new ground this summer or a ground share, I don't know that we're going to be allowed to stay at London Road in the Premier League. So that's something that might happen this summer. Ricky J. Jones, top scorer on 32 goals. And there's your confirmation of our second place finish. We don't need to get too bogged down in any of this business. The important stuff, this is our money situation. So we're starting to bring in a little bit more from, I guess, competition prize money. That's presumably from finishing higher in the league. A little bit more sponsorship money. Not as much TV money this year, which is surprising. And also match day commercial revenue dropped a little bit as well, which I think is the majority of that merchandise. I think it is. Top shirt sellers, Patton, Jones, Burak, which, I mean, imagine if you got a Burak shirt, you'd have been devastated. Taylor and Zakowski, which, him aside, I mean, I guess he was one of the 2 big name signings with Zakowski. Neither of them really worked out, although Zakowski might get more game time now. Wassell's leaving. But Patton and Jones, as you would expect, the 2 top shirt sellers at the club, and this is the team of the year. Jaskalainen in goal, Devine at left back. Devine is going to be doing another season in the Championship. Interestingly, 14 appearances for Brighton, not a single assist. They are clearly using Reece Devine wrong, because, I mean, that's nuts. I wonder if we could maybe bring him back on the cheap. If he's not working out for them, if he's not doing what they signed him to do, if we could bring him back for 4 or 5 million, I'd take him back. We're losing Hecker. We don't really have a left back. It's an area we need to strengthen. We will look for Reece Devine again this summer. Sullivan, Sykes and Lopez at the back. I think Lopez should be able to make the step up to the Premier League. I hope Sykes can. I think we probably need a partner for Sykes and a left back. Wintle at the base of the midfield definitely needs replacing. He was a player who got relegated in the Championship last year. I don't think he's a Premier League playmaker. So that's probably the top priority for this summer. Zakowski and Taylor in midfield can probably both do a job if they have to. Jones, Patton and Burak as the front three. I think Burak definitely needs replacing as well. Hopefully with Joyce, if we can extend his loan. But yeah, number one priority. Once we've got left back sorted, because we don't have one, I guess we've got Gaz Key, but the biggest upgrade I think we need is to that central defensive midfield role. Awards-wise, Ricky J. Jones won Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. Jaskalainen signing of the season. Taylor got Goal of the Year. Top scorer was Jones. Most assists was Lopez with 15. So Devine got 15 from left back. Lopez getting 15 from right back as well. I know he's played more games, but it shows how important the fullbacks are to the system that we play with the two strikers that cut in. The two inside forwards that cut in. All of those assists are coming from fullback. Ricky J. Jones, most man of the matches and highest average rating as well. He's also broken the record, the club record for overall goals in a season with 34. Jaskalainen broke the record for most clean sheets in a season with 20. Jones also breaking the man of the match record. And Ross Sykes is the naughtiest boy ever, despite not getting a red card all year. So, naughtiest boy in context of the save. I'm sure there have been naughtier players for Peterborough in the past. Our points total of 95 is a new record for us as well. What's the analyst saying? Our defensive statistics are worth taking a look at. Thanks. We're quiet and impenetrable. I like that. And up front, we're aggressive and clinical. They seem like some decent reviews of both ends of our football team. I like that. Let's have a look at the club vision stuff. What's being added here? Sign high reputation players. We can't do that. We're a Premier League team now. We're not going to have the money to do that. Make the most of set pieces. I don't mind leaving on there. Everything else is staying on there. We're looking to fight bravely against relegation, which is that's the thing that basically means you don't get sacked even if you get relegated. They're forcing me to sign high reputation players. Interesting. I don't know how long I'm going to be staying at Posh for. But if it looks like we're going to get relegated, we'll probably try and jump ship. I'm not going to be actively looking for a new club immediately because we've just got promoted and I wouldn't. I'd want to try in the Premier League. I'd want to be the manager that takes Peterborough into the Premier League and gets started there. But if we're struggling by Christmas, I'd probably look to jump ship. Our team leaders are Taylor, Sykes and Jones. They should all be part of the first team squad next year. So that's good for the future of the club there. Tell the boys that we're going to try and stay up. I never know which one of these to do in this situation. We'll probably come back down. I'm going to give you all a chance to... I'm probably not. We're probably going to go back down, but I'm going to bring in new players. Yeah, there you go. That's pleased them. What a motivational speech. They loved it. You're probably going to get relegated next year, boys, and I'm replacing half of you. Yes, boss! Weird. Footballers are weird. That's considered our best 11 based on who's here. Have I already extended the loans for Joyce and Wassell? Because they're on there. And Hecker. I haven't. I mean, the three of them can't be. That must just be because they're currently here. I don't think I've extended the loans. No, he's out. He's here until 2025. Wassell, I did already extend the loan for, which is fine. I wonder if we can get Joyce, make him the other one that we extend the loan for. No. I have to wait for the window to open. Okay. We won't worry about that just yet. End of season break is fine. Training camp destination is Spain, which is fine. And Louis Malden is fine. Okay, so if you missed it at the end of yesterday's video, we have £36 million to spend. I need to go and identify who I'm going to spend it on, don't I? Like I say, left back, deep lying playmaker, and then see what we've got left. That's the plan. And this is a nice way to start things off. We just got another £4.5 million from the Reece Devine deal to get rid of his 30% sell-on. I realise they might end up selling him on for loads of money, but I don't know. I look at that compared to that and think he's probably never going to go for 16.5 million again. So to pick 4.5 million up for him now seems like a good piece of business. We also got a little bit extra for Ronnie Edwards. And because, again, he was on loan with us for the first part of the season, I don't see him playing 17 more games for Aston Villa. So we'll take the money now. Just seems to make sense. That gets a little bit more cash in. We've now got a £39 million budget. which is much better. Right, stadium shenanigans then. The board are increasing the capacity with another 1,300 seats. I would have expected a new stadium, considering we're looking to build one in real life, but apparently not. It's going to take the capacity up a smidge and should be finished this summer, in fact, should be finished by June. That must just be filling in a corner or something. Or no, in fact, it's putting seats in some of the standing areas. So the capacity is actually going to reduce. That's going to be the new capacity. We need a new stadium. We also need to improve the training facilities. And Anderson wants a new contract. At 27 and not a regular player anymore, I don't know that you get one. Get Sykes to fix that problem. Make that go away, Ross. Good boy. Right, I've made my first signing. I couldn't get Reece Devine back, so we've signed a different Devine instead. Adam Devine, specifically, who comes in from Watford. He's a centre-back primarily, but he can play full-back on either side. I think he just gives us a little bit more depth in those defensive areas. He can be a good backup to Lopez on the right. Lopez can play left-back and he could potentially play right-back. He's not really a Premier League player. I think this is going to be a problem. Certainly, I'm probably not going to do too much more business before the transfer over to us officially being a Premier League club, because we're really struggling to find anyone or attract anyone. I think we're in that same problem again. The whole, we can't really afford the players who are going to really improve us, but the players we can improve, the players we can afford, like Devine, who's cost us 2.2 million. I don't know. Does he massively improve us? No. Signing number 2, we have our deep lying playmaker. Let me rephrase that. We have a deep lying playmaker. I mean, he's definitely an upgrade on what we had before. Berat Özdemir, 27 years old, 2 caps for Turkey, natural deep lying playmaker at the base of the midfield, can play in central midfield as well. He's previously been at Watford and Brighton. He's got a season in the Premier League under his belt as well, and has just been a consistent performer in the Championship for for 3 of the last 4 years. The other one he was in the Premier League for. So I think this is the kind of caliber of player the top tier that we can hope to attract. And I take positivity out of it, knowing that Wintle last year was probably a similarly underwhelming signing and went on to be a key player. I don't think he makes the step up, but hopefully Berat can. I mean, we got a B-. The fans seem happy. The board seem happy. It's not a spectacular, sexy signing. Deal doesn't quite align with the club's objectives. All right, well, we needed him. I think this is a club record signing. Brandon Williams is a Peterborough player, £6.5 million. Can play left back or right back. We'll play him at left back, even though he's right-footed. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential. Has the potential to be a Premier League right back in the future. Left back. Premier League left back in the future. He was at Middlesbrough last year after being released by Manchester United. We did try and sign him on a free transfer last summer and couldn't get him because we weren't a big enough club. We also tried to sign him, I think, the year before on loan from Manchester United, but couldn't afford him. So I've been pursuing him for a little while. Yes, we've paid a lot of money for him, but I give that the context of we sold Reece Devine for £16.5 million and we've signed his replacement for £6.5 million. And I think if we've got any Manchester United fans watching, there's bound to be a few of you out there. Williams is the better of the two, right? Right? I think we've done okay out of that deal. We have made it through to the 1st of July, folks. And you know what that means. It's time to bring in free transfers. Now, I don't know how many there's going to be now we're a Premier League side. Let's have a little look to see what my director of football's got for me. You got any centre-backs? Okay, we're going to have a bunch of centre-backs. We're going to have a bunch of centre-backs, a bunch of trialists to bring in. So let me bring these in, and then we'll show you what else we've done. There have been a couple more transfers. It is the 11th of July, and many transfers have happened. Firstly, let's look at the players who've left. Rodell Richards, 160,000 to Bristol Rovers. Noam Emaran, 425,000 to Strasbourg. Burak went to Standard for £4.9 million, rising to £6 million. All of a sudden, looks like a good piece of business after all. Casey Palmer's gone to Forest for £2.2 million. At 28 years old, and he'd fallen out of the team. Again, seems like a good piece of business. And then a bunch of players have been loaned out. The notable ones, Gaz Key's gone to Swansea for the season. And we've also got rid of some of the the fringe players, the likes of Jack Stretton, Malachi, Walcott have gone out on loan as well. And then the players that have come in addition to the ones we'd already signed, Clark Odor, I want to say, is a 26-year-old Kenyan international left winger. Comes in for, £5 million from Brentford. Another one who's had lots and lots of experience in the Championship, ready to make the step up to the Premier League. He's a very good left winger, although we might have already outshone him with some of the other players. We've signed a lot of wingers. Patrick Roberts is in, 28 years old now, can play on either side, 3.5-star current ability player. Obviously, former wonder kid, but spent a lot of time at Manchester City being loaned out forever and ever and ever and ever. Ended up at Levante, where he's been for the last few years, playing in La Liga. And now he's at the Premier League for Peterborough United, earning £60,000 a week, comfortably our highest paid player, because I've heard of him. Gonzalo Escalante is a 32-year-old Argentinian deep-lying playmaker, defensive midfielder, and we've got another option in there now, 3.5-star current ability player. He's previously of Southampton, Lazio, who we do now acknowledge, and a few other players. So I've done a bit of a European tour. Jean-Kevin Augustin is a 28-year-old French former under-21 international striker who can also play wide on either side. He's formerly of Nantes, where he's played. He's got 10 goals a season in the last couple of years playing in Ligue 1. Formerly had a loan at Monaco, been at Leipzig, been at Leeds, been at Paris Saint-Germain. Again, he's been around a little bit, only 28, not a bad player to have around the side. And Jorge de Frutos, or Jorge de Frutos, I guess. Is that how you would say it the Spanish way? I don't know. We'll say George, because George. He's 28 years old, can play on either wing. And again, another former Levante player. We've got both Levante's wingers from last year, although I guess they're reserve wingers from last year, because neither him nor Roberts played a huge amount of football last year, but he was a £5 million signing for Levante from Real Madrid previously. So another decent calibre of player. We still have money. We've got £10 million left in the transfer budget, plenty of spare wage budget as well, and the option to keep shuffling that around. But this is what the team report looks like. And I don't know, what else do we need, really? Oh, and Wassel and Kasani are both back on loan again. So looking through the squad, maybe we could do with a goalkeeper. Malden and Jaskalainen, I'm not sure either of them are a Premier League goalkeeper, so a goalkeeper might be nice. Gazkey's gone out on loan. But as left backs, we've got Lopez as an option. We've got Williams, Devine, Gibson, lots of players who can play there. Same at right back, Lopez, Sykes, Lawrence, Sullivan, Devine, they can all play there. Lots of similar quality centre-backs, Anderson, Sykes, Sullivan, Gibson, Devine. Defensive midfielder, we've got new boy Berat, we've got Escalante, Jack Taylor can still play there. We've still got Wintle as well, but he's not considered a 3-star or above player anymore. In central midfield, Taylor, Wassel, Berat can play there, Escalante can play there, Lawrence can play there. So lots of options in there. We've got Jones, Patton, Augustin, and even Kasani as options as a striker. And then out wide, Jones. Richards is still knocking around, or I'll probably look to move him on. Odor's here, Roberts. Augustin can play out there. And on the right, Jones, Roberts, Richards again. Perhaps we do keep Richards. He looks like he's got decent ability to play in a number of positions. Patton, of course, on the right as well. I don't know, maybe we'll go out and buy a striker so we can play Patton and Jones wide again. Maybe we'll go out and buy a centre-back. Maybe we'll go out and buy a goalkeeper. Maybe we don't do any more business and settle with what we've got. Because, I mean, I'd be happy with that squad. If we didn't have more budget left, I'd look at that squad and think, you know what? That's not bad. We've done all right there. So we've got about a month before the season starts to just take it easy and wait for players who are really going to improve the team. We beat Monaco in the LOLLUJO Cup, by the way. So, you know, we're all right. We finished second in that group of teams. Things are looking up, boys and girls. Let's see what the media think we're going to do this first season in the Premier League. Obviously, they think we're going to finish 20th, but let's double check. They do think we're going to finish 20th, 1,000 to 1. And strangely, we don't have anyone in the media Dream 11 either. I guess we wait for the right players now. Weird getting most of my business done so early. This is where you look down at the timestamps on the video and realise there's another 40 minutes to go because things went crazy from here. Hoping there's only like 5 minutes left and I've actually had a sensible window. We went for a defender in the end. Callum Doyle, 21 years old, from Manchester City, no less. Comes in as the best defender at the club, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. This is the kind of player we should have been signing all along. £4.1 million. If we can find a couple more of them, one for each position down the core of the team, and we're golden. Yeah, we have a new centre-back. Let's get Ross Sykes to work him in. Might be your replacement, Ross, but to be fair, probably your new partner rather than your replacement. Let's just see how the squad fits together. We have got quite a lot of players now, but Doyle, there you go, the 4th best player at the club, in good company with Jones, Lopez, Wassell, Taylor. That's a good spot to be in. Lyndon Gooch is still here, by the way, which is, I mean, that needs dealing with. Lyndon Gooch, we're trying to get rid of, but he is still around at the moment. There are a few of these players I'm still trying to get rid of. Byers, Gooch, Burns. I want shot of all of them, even potentially Wintle. Now we've got a couple of other options at defensive midfield. But for now, that is what I call a good signing, because he's come in and he's the best player in his position. Do that a few more times. And like I say, it is a case of waiting for the right players to pop up. He popped up on the scout reports, and yes, we'll have a bit of that. And hopefully we have that happen with a goalkeeper next. Would be ideal. We've had another one pop up. Alex Myton, who I think is a player I've had in a save before. I don't remember what save. He's from Forest, isn't he? Yeah, Forest. And Rangers paid £7.75 million to take him from Forest, where he got 8 goals from 15 games last year, or the year before last. He's then gone to Rangers, barely played. We picked him up for £1.5 million. It just seems like a bargain for a 23-year-old. 4 caps for America already. Can play up front or on either wing. £1.5 million. Potential decent Premier Division left winger. That'll do. Well, this is weird. I don't think I've ever had this happen before. A second stadium expansion of the summer. So the first stadium expansion has happened. I guess it's because the first one wasn't a stadium expansion. It was converting terracing to seating. But now we're having an expansion, which will take us from just under 13,000 capacity up to 17,300, which, I mean, it's Premier League ready, I guess. We've squeezed in another fullback. I can't remember if that's 4 or 5 this summer now. But D'Amico Dehaney, 26-year-old right back who's coming from Huddersfield. He's been there forever. He's played lots of championship football, formerly of Manchester City. I just felt like we were a little bit short on a backup player for Lopez, especially if Lopez plays at left back. Obviously, we've got Brandon Williams as well. Devine, though, probably is going to be a centre back. Although we signed him as a full back, definitely at 6'3", he just seems to suit centre back better. So it's kind of replacing him as the backup. So if we look at what we've got as our full backs now, my 2 right backs in my head are Lopez and the new guy, Dehaney. So they're my 2 right backs. My 2 left backs are Williams and still Lopez. Who's missing here? Where's Gazki? Oh, we loaned Gazki out. Maybe we still need another fullback. I've brought Gazki back. It's the second season in a row I've done that. Loaned him out and then changed my mind. Last year he only went on to play 6 games for us. But yeah, he played 2 games for Swansea. I think we need him. I think we need another left back. So rather than signing one, Gazki back in the squad. There he is. Oh, he's not showing on there, but that because I've put him down in the under 23s, I think, when I loaned him out. So let's move him back into, how do you move someone from squad to squad? Move to senior squad. And then he should, there you go, show up as a left back for us. Much better. All of which brings us to the end of, well, not the end of the transfer window, but the start of the season. So that'll be tomorrow's episode. We'll show the first couple of games and the end of the window. Although, to be fair, you can tell I've been faffing about just getting the team set up ready to do that video. To be fair, we've got no money left, so there's not likely to be much more in the way of business unless we sell first. But this is likely to be the team. And when I say likely, unless I change my mind in the next 3 minutes before I record it, almost certainly the team that's going to start next season. So a bit of a new look defence with Williams and Doyle joining Solomon and Lopez, who were here last year. Berak coming in as the deep line playmaker. Jones will be up front with Odor and Myton as the wingers. We've got Roberts, Augustin, Patton on the bench. There's lots of options. Lots of options. Mauldin's injured, so we don't have a backup goalkeeper at the moment. So I think that's got to be what we spend the last bit of pennies on. We need, at the very least, a third goalkeeper, so we have someone to sit on the bench in this scenario. Ideally, we sign a goalkeeper even better than Jaskalainen, who's still unhappy because I didn't sign a teammate. Oh, he's now lost trust in me because I didn't sign anyone from Hull. We're in the Premier League, Will. What use is anybody from Hull? My word. But that is the end of our first ever Premier League transfer window. I'm trying to show you the summary and I can't get there. And we spent 13 million, brought 8 million pounds in. So not a huge spend for a team new in the Premier League, but we strengthened in some key areas, got rid of a lot of the deadwood that we had knocking around the club. Because remember, we were a League One team when we first arrived. So there's a lot of players who really don't need to be here anymore. We've got a first team squad of 28, which is still a little bit bloated. And the likes of Byers, Gibson, Wintle. I don't see these players getting a lot of game time this year, but they're here for now. And there's still time to get rid of a few more of them. Ideally get down to a squad side of maybe around 25 and see if we can squeeze in 1 or 2 more players before the window closes. That's the plan. If you've enjoyed that, though, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.